You're tuned into the Fresh Ice Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Zeno Pucks. Here are your hosts, Andy and Brian Matusi.
All right, here we are. Another week where I watched the bare minimum amount of hockey that I possibly could because I had way too much going on this week.
Yeah, that way too much, by the way, just means he played Battlefield 6 5 nights last week.
That's not correct at all.
Oh, so it was 4 nights, whatever it was.
No, we had a lot going on this week. So now, Thursday night and Friday night, yes. But Monday through Wednesday was a different animal.
I mean, you got home from the Monsters game last night?
I did play when I got home from the Monsters game last night.
Yeah, those gaming PCs don't break themselves in, man. You got to play.
Yeah, dude. It's been great. Big fan. Everything's incredible on it. And even everything with this show right now is running very efficiently, and I'm very happy with it.
That's good, at least.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, we're back. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States. Not much that I want to address on this show, mostly because both of us missed out on a lot of the action around the league. I kind of want to talk about the Rantanen hits at length, but I didn't see either game and only saw clips of both plays. And really my only thought on both of his hits is that they were both dirty, and I can't believe he didn't get any supplemental discipline for the first. And I haven't seen anything about the one against Coronado. But I got to imagine at some point here, somebody's got to say something to this guy, or somebody's just going to have to run his ass into the fucking glass. Was one of the two. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed by the league's decision. And we've had this discussion too, that the Department of Player Safety is the most fucking pathetic thing that this league has to offer. So it is what it is. We'll wait and see if Rantanen gets any kind of suspension out of this, and then we can always talk about that on the next show.
I'll be shocked if he died. I didn't obviously watch the game, but I saw the clip from last night, and that's brutal. Yeah. I mean, he got a game misconduct for it. So
yeah, it was a pretty ugly hit. I think he got a misconduct for both hits, but I mean, he's got at some point here. People are like, all right, now he's just taking liberties. So
I mean, it should have been a match penalty, but.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. We'll see what happens if he does end up getting suspended. I envision he'll at least see something, at least a game for this. Twice in a few days is a little ridiculous, so we'll see. Yeah. Let's head out to LA. Adrian Kempe extends there 8 years, $10.625 million per season. So great deal for him to get locked up with LA. What's funny is thinking back after I saw this deal was signed, which I'm pretty sure was signed right after our show last week. When we did our season preview for LA, I don't even think I mentioned his name, but certainly an effective player for the Kings. Now, LA certainly has their own issues still to address. I'm still not crazy about the roster, but this is one of their premier players. So getting him locked up, especially when we know Kopitar is done after this year, is really good for them. So excited to see him secure the bag, and excited for LA that they can at least lock up one of their star players.
Yes, sir.
Connor Hellebuck going over to Winnipeg. He's out 4 to 6 weeks after a minor knee procedure is done. Obviously, for United States hockey fans, this is not the end of the world, as it means he'll still be back well before the Olympics. For Jets fans, obviously, there's going to be some troubling waters to navigate when you have a goalie who's probably one of the best in the world, and now he's gone for a month and a half. That can really kind of throw a wrench into your season. So the Jets are a skilled enough team that I don't envision this really being an issue. But sometimes it's something like this. We've talked about team chemistry on the show before. Sometimes having a player of this caliber out of the lineup can really screw things up. And I think it's even more amplified because he's their goaltender.
Yeah, I think this is one of those situations that it is a big enough player to have a big enough effect on the team. But at the same time, like you said, Winnipeg is a very good team, and a team that, is very capable of outscoring any goaltending issues they could run into as a result of this. So I wouldn't panic, but it's definitely a bit of an oh shit moment, but it's only temporary. So if this was
not a major procedure either, it's not like he tore an ACL or something.
Right. I mean, if this was going to be a super, out for the season thing, then I'd have my worries. But honestly, for Winnipeg, I'm not worried.
Yeah, they should be okay. Again, it's not like he's out, 4 months or something. I mean, he should be back. And even if they have some trouble in his absence, I don't envision that they'll have any issues getting back to where they were once he's back in the lineup. They still, I think Minnesota passed them for that third spot in the division, which Minnesota's been on a tear, by the way, lately. We'll probably talk about that next episode as we, I want to see a couple more games out of this, but 8-1-1 in their last 10, they've been very good. And Jesper Wallsted's been extremely good for them. So,
and Brian's been very happy for them.
Yeah, thank God. Well, after the way they started the season, I was just like, holy shit. I mean, I thought they were really going down a dark path here, but they gave the reins to Wallsted, and he now leads the league in save percentage, and him and Gustafsson both have, I mean, he's had his game all season, but Gustafsson has started to look more confident too. The shutout in Pittsburgh the other night really helps with that. But the team as a whole is playing better. So, I mean, the Jets are going to have some work to do to maintain that spot in the division, but it's not the end of the world. It's not a season-ending injury, so we'll see how they bounce back.
Yes, sir.
I want to stay in the Central Division and talk about Connor Bedard and the call seen around not seen around the league last week.
Yeah, dude.
Late in a game against Seattle, a tie game at that. Bedard gets a breakaway, gets hooked, slashed, whatever you want to call it, on the breakaway. Doesn't get a real scoring chance on the play. No penalty called. No penalty shot called. Bedard skates right towards the ref, kind of all in one motion. He's shooting, and as he's flying by the net, he kind of just pulls up where the ref is and starts to back skate away. But he's yelling at the ref like, "How the fuck don't you call that? Like, how don't you call anything there?" And he starts to skate away. The ref tosses him out of the game for abusive officials. Seattle gets a power play and scores on the ensuing power play, and that would, of course, stand as the game-winning goal from Jaden Schwartz. So that was a really bad call. I talked about the Department of player safety being one of the worst things this league has. The officiating, we usually bitch about the officiating in the postseason because, again, the stakes are higher. Everything's on a national broadcast. The stage is much larger, so everyone sees it. But this is a premier example of the ref taking control of the game and not letting the players. I don't want to say not letting the players play, because I mean, letting the players play would be not calling a penalty, but this is a situation where, I mean, a clear hook, a foul from behind of some sort on a breakaway. To me, that's a penalty shot, but at very least that's a hooking minor, and it should be a power play. Even if you think he had a legitimate scoring chance there, he was still hooked to some extent. And I don't know, man. Not calling anything there's pretty shitty. Again, late in a tie game, sometimes they can be a little apprehensive, but that's a mostly clean cut break, and they catch up to him and hook him from behind. And I don't know. I hated the fact that not only does he not get the call, but then the ref tosses him for abusive officials. That to me is where the ref is quote unquote taking control of the game, because you clearly miss a call that's 10 feet from you and you're looking right at it, and then you take out your frustration on the player after he calls you out for making a mistake. And that's just fucking lazy to me. So I don't know who the referee was, and I quite frankly don't care, because all of these guys at some point have been guilty of atrocious calls. But yeah, that's unacceptable. And I feel for Bedard. And obviously I don't care for Chicago as a team, but to watch a player get hosed like that on what would have been a potential game-winning goal, or if he gets a penalty shot, he could score. They could score on the power play. Again, those are the things that change the outcome of a game. And then for Seattle to come down on the ensuing power play from the fallout of that and then score the game-winning goal with just over 2 minutes left, to me is bullshit.
Dude, I'm 100% with you, and I feel like there's always a point in every season so far where we're at some point coming in to bitch about the officiating, and this is a textbook example of how atrocious the referees are in the NHL. And I don't know how you don't call something there. Like, nothing at all. Fine if he didn't call the penalty shot. In my opinion, I would have called the penalty shot, but I'm not a referee. But I think he was denied a scoring opportunity, so I'm calling a penalty shot there. This guy called nothing in that situation. And you're looking right at the play, and I think everything Connor Bedard did, granted, we don't know what was said. We don't need to know what was said, because what happens on the ice ultimately, or what's on the ice, is not the fans' business. But I stand behind Connor Bedard on this one. I would have been livid if it were me in that situation. And while you can say they still needed to finish out the game, ultimately that decision cost them the game. That lack of a call by an official cost them that game. And not to say Bedard would have scored had he been given a penalty shot there.
Or that they would have scored on a
power play. Correct. But you never know. And now we never will know. That cost them the game.
And again, not only are you robbing them of the power play opportunity or penalty shot chance, but now you're awarding. And again, this is all on the heels of a piss poor missed call by the official. Now you're rewarding the other team by giving them the power play. And in this case, it, again, like you said, it cost them the game, which to me is irritating. And as long as this podcast exists, we will never be, we will always be critical of the refs when it's earned. We don't bitch about it every show, but when there's egregious calls like this, we're going to fucking talk about it, because these guys need to have a spotlight, put on them when they're making bad calls. Anybody, you ask anybody in the world, if you fuck up at your job, you're going to hear about it. And somehow these guys get protected. They don't have to answer to the media. They don't have to answer to anybody, really. So other than the league, and clearly no punishment's going to be done there. I mean, the KHL, which is an extreme example, but they relegate their refs that make shitty calls, especially in a situation like this where it completely changed the outcome of a game that was tied late. This is the kind of shit that gets refs demoted to the minor leagues in the KHL. Which is
honestly, dude, that's exactly how it should be.
It should be, yeah. I think that's an extreme level of accountability, but it's accountability, and NHL refs do not have that, and I won't stand for an argument that says they will.
And I
won't listen to an argument that says they will.
Yeah, and I'm going to back you 100% on that. And the fact that this guy had the absolute balls and audacity to throw Connor Bedard out of the game for trying to hold him accountable for his shit missed call is absolutely ridiculous to me. You screwed up. Just sit there, take your lashings, and carry on.
Yeah.
There was no reason for Connor Bedard to be ejected from that game. I don't care what was said, because it was justified.
And I know he got real close to the ref, but he wasn't screaming in his face. He did pull up by him because he was flying by the net, but most of the shit he said was as he was back skating away. And again, that's just the ref kind of being a bitch about it, and that's not the way it should be. But yeah, I just that kind of irritated me, and it is what it is. But just something we'll continue to keep an eye on, and it's something, again, we will always make comments about.
It's something that will always continue to piss me off.
By the way, and we'll discuss this next week too, because I'm looking at the standings. Next week's show will be essentially the start of December. It'll be November 30th. So we'll do a standings overview next week, and we're going to talk about the fact that Colorado has played 21 games and only lost one of them in regulation. They're 15-1-5. And right now, the Ducks are in first in the Pacific. Like, we've got some crazy changes in the standings now compared to last month. So I almost want to go back and listen to our
preseason or
our standings check at the start of this month, because things were so drastically different.
I still want to go back and hear our predictions again, though, too.
I don't. I hope somebody burns that podcast. All those could just be thrown right out the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good. But yeah, our standings show next week will be fun. I kind of hope Colorado continues on this tear, because this is nuts. I mean, the last time we saw really anything crazy like this was, the Jets had a good start to last season too. But like, I think of the 2013 season, Chicago was like the first 25 games of the year they didn't have a regulation loss or something. Like, it was something stupid. And of course, they obviously went on to win the cup that year. But yeah, this Colorado team is absolutely nuts, dude. It's terrifying to watch them. Speaking of terrifying to watch, we're going to talk about the Jackets when we come back from break. So we'll real quick stop and listen to our friends from Xenopucks, and when we come back, we will address the Blue Jackets and the fact that we are going to the game on Wednesday. So we will be right back. This is the Fresh Ice Hockey Podcast.
It's hockey season, and you're looking to work on your stick handling or maybe even your shot, but ice time just isn't an option for you right now. Luckily, our buddies over at Xenopucks have got you covered. They've developed an elite off-ice practice puck that, in addition to looking like the real thing, is the same size and weight as a regulation hockey puck to give you that authentic feel on the end of your stick. It works better than other off-ice practice pucks on almost any surface, whether you use it on hardwood, carpet, concrete, or even asphalt. Xenopucks glide like a real puck on ice. So if you're looking to improve your game without setting foot on the ice, head over to www.xenopucks.com and get yourself a puck. Check out their merch selection and be sure to follow them on Instagram at Xenopucks.
right, and we're back. So, yeah, we're going to the Jackets game Wednesday night. That should be fun. The Leafs are in town, which I envision we'll see quite a few Maple Leafs fans. That's not a terrible flight. And honestly, for some of those guys, it's not even a bad drive, depending where they live in Ontario. So I envision there'll be a lot of Maple Leafs fans there night before American Thanksgiving, too. I could easily see that being a lot of visiting fans. Now, what has helped the Jackets, or what will help the Jackets maybe limit this Leafs crowd, is the Leafs are 1-6 on the road. They've been just terrible in general this season. They are 6th last in the league. They are not doing hot. They're 2nd last in the division, and of course, only the shitty ass Sabres are worse than them, which it's no surprise there. But the Leafs are coming to town, and they've been playing like shit. So I have 2 thoughts. First of all, my first thought is that we need to bring a defibrillator to the game to inject some life into this Blue Jackets team, which is really in a really rough slide right now. 4-3-3 in the last 10, and it's just not. The games they're winning are pretty good, and the games they're losing are ones you scream in the shower about because you want them back. Like it's just not been going well now. I think we put a pretty hard whammy on them when we said that the season was off to a perfect a start as we could have asked for. Because since then it's been terrible.
Yeah, it went downhill pretty quick too.
So again, still not even remotely to the point where they're in any peril here, but they got to start rallying the troops here and figure something out. So hopefully maybe us being there and we can again bring the defibrillator and zap them back to life here. My other thought on this game is that the Leafs have been playing so piss poorly that they're due for a big win. And I swear to God, if it's while we're at the game, I'm going to be pretty upset.
Yeah, well, that's my only concern too. However, I'm really hoping the way they've played on the road thus far carries over into this game. And mostly for, like, I don't care how, I just hope Columbus gets a dub. And I don't care if that means Columbus plays great or Toronto plays atrociously. I just want a Blue Jackets dub. With that being said, we're so adamant or vocal about our concerns with this team that I think it's worth reminding people too. It's not like it's like the Blue Jackets this year are a team that should be this elite cup contender team. That being said, though, given what they had last year, we expected them to be better than what they've been playing lately. And it's just kind of the wheels are falling off the wagon one piece at a time, it kind of feels like, and you don't know what's wrong. And you can argue too, they had the whole motivating factor of losing Johnny Gaudreau last year. And that really lit a fire under this team's ass, brought everybody together. But it's still, the team is largely unchanged this year. With the exception of the additions of, like guys like Charlie Coyle, Jack Greaves now sitting as a solid backup. So
yeah,
you're just, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened because virtually nothing has changed from last season. So what happened?
And on the roster, it's arguably a better roster too. So honestly, I think at this point last season, I think they're even still better now than they were last year, but this is a big week for them. Two divisional matchups, and again, a game against Toronto, which you should surely win with how bad they're playing right now. But you've got Washington, who's kind of fighting it a little bit right now, and Pittsburgh, who again was off to a better start than anybody expected, but that's still a team you have to take very seriously. And then next week's schedule too is New Jersey, Detroit, Florida. So they have a stretch of some really tough opponents coming up here, and I think this next month will make or break their season. These are the opponents they have until the rest of this calendar year in order. Washington versus Toronto versus Pittsburgh, at New Jersey. That's Pittsburgh, by the way, for those of you who speak English.
Not Pittsburgh.
At New Jersey versus Detroit, at Florida, at Washington, at Carolina. That's a hell of a road trip. Then a homestand, Ottawa, Vegas, Anaheim, Minnesota, and then a road trip out to California to play Anaheim and LA, then versus New York, at Ottawa, and finish the season versus New Jersey. So a lot of really good opponents in there. And again, this is going to be a test. Everybody has to play everybody at some point during the year, but the Jackets have put themselves in a spot now where you have some of your one of your toughest stretches of the season coming up. You better buckle down here. And they're looking at their schedule late in the season. They have a good mix of bad and good opponents. So we'll see. we'll see how they can do. But this next month, I really think is going to determine where this team is going to go, because they're in such a precarious spot right now in the standings that a couple bad losses in a row might just suck the life out of the team and kind of take the season away.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried yet, I should say, but that's where I don't want it to go at this point. And like you just said, given the lineup of teams that they have to face coming up here, it could be cause for concern if this team can't pull it together. So, and it's just something you'd hate to see. Essentially, you'd hate to see the season go to waste for a team that coming into the season, the expectations were higher than what you would have thought they would have been. So, and especially given the way they started the season off. So, I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous, but I don't think we need to worry yet. But I do think this game on Wednesday is going to be a very significant telltale sign about how things are going to go for them moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we'll see. Regardless, if there's one thing I can say, and I know you agree with me on this, it's never a bad time to go watch a hockey game there. Win or lose, I love going down there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I would agree with that. That's a good, with that sentiment. That's, you're always going to have a good time, but as far as the players on the ice, they're going to only be having a good time if they start winning some games here. So hopefully this week is the start of a kind of a rally of sorts where they can get back to that dominant spot they were at to start the year.
Yeah. And if nothing else, remember this too, if you're a Jackets fan, the Jackets have a phenomenal GM. Dean Evanson, truly, I believe, is a good coach. And they have a good lineup. There's just some small kinks that they have to work out, but I think if they can do that, this team will thrive. So there's no reason to hit the panic button just yet.
All right. Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on. So again, those of you who are American listeners, happy Thanksgiving this week. Obviously, and our next show will be after Thanksgiving. So enjoy your holiday with your family, with your friends, whoever you celebrate with. Make sure you cash in on those Black Friday deals, which feel kind of less and less like deals every year now. I remember when we were kids, they had 60, 70% off doorbusters, and now it's like, here's 30% off for 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
That's just a sale. That's not even anything special. So, unrelated to hockey, but yeah, I just thought, I'm like, yeah, man, I remember when we were kids, the deals they used to advertise, they'd never do that shit now.
Well, dude, I remember like when I was in high school, and I remember when I worked at J.C. Penney.
Hey, we both worked. We worked at the same store, just at different times.
Yeah, I opened that store. Like I remember when it was being built, and it was a mess. But I remember Black Friday opening the doors at 5 a.m. and it was J.C. Penney, and it was an absolute stampede through those doors. I couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like that anymore. I mean, you don't have to leave your house anymore, and honestly, I kind of like that. So, but I mean, yeah, you can still get some good deals online, I would argue, but you're right. It's not like the 70% off doorbuster, get into fights at Walmart type of deals anymore.
People aren't killing each other for coffee makers anymore. We used to be a nation, damn it.
Oh, yeah. And TVs, but I mean, even now TVs have become so TVs nice and so affordable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Compared to what they used to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's not a huge deal anymore. So, but if you are going to go out Black Friday shopping, obviously be safe and be considerate.
And if you're not, well, fuck you.
Yeah, well, okay.
So, all right, that's a perfect note to end on. Everybody have a great week. We'll, of course, be back next Sunday as we will take a look across the league and see how everybody's season is faring to this point. You all have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.